to my very first live video. I'm Karen Belinsky Matheson, and I am so grateful you're here with me today. If this is your first time meeting me, I'm the founder and CEO of The Naked Grief. I'm a certified grief coach, death doula, and someone who has walked through multiple valleys of loss myself. Today, I want to share my heart and my story with you about why this work has become my life's purpose. My journey into grief support began in 2013 when I started writing grief books, driven by a calling that I didn't fully understand yet. In 2015, I began working in death care as a family service counselor, supporting families during their most difficult times. But in 2018, everything changed when grief became deeply, devastatingly personal. That year, my husband suffered a brain aneurysm. He was 40. And for 3 weeks, we fought alongside him, hoping, praying, and believing that he would come home. During those same 3 weeks, my father was diagnosed with brain and lung cancer. I found myself being exposed to anticipatory grief for the first time. That heartbreaking experience of grieving someone while they're still alive. My husband passed away after those 3 weeks, and suddenly I was a widow, navigating a world I never imagined I'd have to face. But instead of letting this devastation derail my calling, it deepened it. In 2019, while processing my own profound grief and watching my two boys of 7 and 11 stumble and struggle with how to move forward after losing their own father, I began my master's degree in mental health and wellness with an emphasis on bereavement and grief. Because I needed to understand, not just professionally, but personally, what I was experiencing. I graduated in 2021, having learned as much from my own journey as from my coursework. But the losses didn't stop there. A year after my husband's death, we lost our family cat. That cat was the first pitter patter of little feet my husband and I ever heard. He arrived a year before our kids. Um, that cat grew up with my boys. It might sound small compared to human loss, but that cat represented the last piece of our family unit. And his death reopened wounds I thought had been healing. In 2022, I earned my postgraduate degree in life coaching and recognition in art therapy coaching, adding more tools to help others while I continued my own healing journey. That same year, I lost my beloved grandmother at 96. A beautiful, full life, but still a profound loss. Then, just over a year later, came the loss that still takes my breath away. My father and I were on a Christmas cruise with my mother and my boys. We were celebrating my 50th birthday. 4 days before Christmas, 4 days before my birthday, just after having breakfast on the Lido deck together as a family, my dad went down to his cabin and passed away. It was traumatic yet somehow peaceful, surrounded by family, but the timing felt so cruel. In 2023, I became a certified grief coach and death doula, formalizing the work I'd been called to do for a decade. And then in March of 2024, I lost the man who had become my rock through all these other losses. My chapter two, someone I had known since 19, someone I thought would always be there. He helped hold me together through the darkest times, and his sudden, unexpected death left me questioning whether my heart could survive losing another person that I loved. 5 significant losses spanning from 2018 to 2024. But my professional journey had been preparing me for this since 2013. Each loss became both personal devastation and professional education. Not just my pain, but my teacher. But here's what I discovered through this journey of multiple losses. I had a choice. I could let this cascade of grief close my heart forever, or I could use it to fuel something more meaningful. I chose to transform my pain into purpose. Every loss taught me something different about the human's heart capacity for both breaking and healing. My husband's death taught me about anticipatory grief and the sacredness of those final weeks. My father's diagnosis while my husband was dying showed me how grief can compound and overwhelm. Losing our cat reminded me that all love, even for our pets, deserves to be honored. My grandmother's passing taught me about celebrating a life well lived. My father's death on our family cruise showed me how trauma and peace can coexist in the same moment. And after losing my chapter two, I found courage that it takes to love after devastating loss. Each loss became part of my expertise, not just my pain, but my teacher. This is why the Naked Grief exists. Our tagline is raw grief, real healing. And it comes from my lived understanding that healing doesn't happen by avoiding our pain or putting on a brave face. No, it happens when we dive into that pain, honor it, and allow it to transform us. At the Naked Grief, our mission is to uncover the stages of grief and explore the roots of heartache, empowering you to find your inner strength, courage, and purpose as you move forward. But here's what makes us different: we don't rush you through the grief, we don't try to fix you or make your pain disappear. Instead, we help you work through each stage of grief by uncovering that core pain, teaching you resilience, and helping you realign with your purpose. And while honoring your lost loved ones, because healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means learning to carry your love and your loss. What sets the Naked Grief apart is that I bring both professional training since 2013 and the lived experience of navigating multiple complex losses. I understand anticipatory grief because I lived it. I understand compound grief because I experienced loss after loss. I understand the unique pain of different types of losses because I've walked through most all of them. I work alongside my incredible colleague, Melissa Bishop, and I'll be honest, I was a client before she was a colleague. She brings spiritual healing and mediumship expertise to our team. Together, we offer one on one personalized coaching, support groups where you can share your vulnerabilities with others who truly understand workshops and retreats focused on mindfulness and creative expression, and holistic approaches like EFT tapping, meditation, and somatic work. But let me tell you the real reason I do this. I'm working through my own healing journey by connecting with others to help reduce their heartache while healing my own. Every person I support, every story I witness, every moment of connection in my work makes me and my heart fuller and not emptier. My losses don't make me an expert in your specific grief. Your journey is uniquely yours, but they do help me understand the courage that it takes to keep living after a devastating loss, the strength required to love again after heartbreak, and the sacred nature of the healing journey. I do this work not despite my losses, but because of them. Every day I choose to open and stay open to my clients' stories, to connection, to that possibility that our pain can become our purpose. If you're watching this and you're experiencing grieving, know that you're not alone. Whether you've lost a spouse, a parent, a pet, a child, anyone who mattered to you, your grief is valid. Your pain has purpose, and your healing is possible. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what questions that you may have about grief, what you'd like to see in future videos, and how I can better serve you on this journey. If you want to learn more about our programs and services, visit thenakedgrief.com. You can reach out directly at info@thenakedgrief.com. I'm located in Camden, Delaware, but we serve people everywhere through our online programs. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future content where I'll be sharing grief support tools, answering your questions, and continuing these important conversations about loss, love, and healing. Thank you from the Naked Grief, Raw Grief, Real Healing, thenakedgrief.com. Thanks for tuning in.